Kolbrin Book of Wisdom, Chapter 17, The Upbringing of Children. To teach a child a ready-made code of morality may not be the ideal, but ideals are rarely approachable on earth, and while mankind is so far retarded spiritually, it is impossible to do otherwise. Yet, if a child is also told why there is a necessity for such a code, perhaps in the child's maturity, it will add something of goodness to the code. Children brought up with the very best instruction often become wayward, and later disregard all they have been taught. Parents wonder why. For the ancient wisdom states that if a child is properly instructed and good habits ingrained, this will not desert the child when it grows up. Such parents must honestly search their own hearts, because the reason is that they have failed to practice their own teachings, and the growing child resents such hypocrisy. Therefore, as it grows up, it will tend to imitate the parents, rather than follow the teachings. Parents should bear in mind that example is the best instruction. A healthier and better upbringing is if parents do not overindulge their children or play with them too much. A parent is not a playmate, and his or her first duty is to be a parent. A mother should act like a mother and a father like a father. Read the sacred books and learn your proper role in life. Parents get the children they deserve, and the failings of a child mirror the failings of its parents. The children of a considerate and just father are successful. Good children cannot be raised in a house of discord. When the father is hot-tempered, and the mother a gossip, the sons are fools and the daughters slovenly. Those who spare themselves the pain of chastising their children display their lack of love for them. Proper and just chastisement is part of a child's upbringing and the duty of every parent. Chastise a child during its childhood, for later is too late. When you were advised against over-familiarity with children, it did not mean that you should be too stern and austere with them. The highest expressions of justice and truth and a perfect code of laws are not attainable on earth. Therefore, the best thing anyone can do for a child is to teach it self-mastery and bring it up in the knowledge of its true nature. The wisdom of the sacred books should be impressed upon the minds of children and taught according to their understanding. It is the duty and obligation of every parent to see that their children are properly instructed. Children are not to be brought into the world irresponsibly, and parents have an obligation for their welfare. They must see that a child is not left without a craft or calling whereby a livelihood can be earned. There is an obligation upon those who bring a child into the world to see that it does not grow up without learning a skillful and useful occupation, and that it is instructed in the purpose of life and ways of the world. The well-brought-up child crowns its parents with happiness, but one ill-raised weighs heavily upon their hearts. A child may rightly reproach its parents if they fail in their duty or avoid their obligations, for it did not ask to be born. Parents, however, cannot reproach their child, for it came at their behest and is the fruit of their pleasure. Parents should bear in mind that the fruit of the tree of indulgence is bitter, and the waters of indifference soon quench the fires of affection. The parent who sows unwisely in the fertile fields of childhood reaps a blighted harvest when the crop comes to maturity.